It teaches you that you can move forward even without all the answers, because God holds the answers. It teaches you that you can walk even when the path is invisible, because God knows the path. It teaches you that you can rest even in uncertainty, because God is certain about you. God is not confused about your future. You may not know what's next, but He does. You may not know how the pieces fit, but He does. You may not know why certain things ended, but He does. You may not know why you're still waiting, but He does. And when the time is right, He will show you why the middle was necessary. There are things God is teaching you in this season that will become the foundation of the season ahead. There are things He is removing from you because they cannot go where He is taking you. There are things He is strengthening in you because they will be required for your next level of purpose. The middle is refining you. It is shaping your character. It is sharpening your discernment. It is maturing your spirit. It is softening your heart. It is building humility, endurance, resilience, compassion, wisdom, and strength. And sometimes the middle is emotional. There are days you feel strong and days you feel drained. Days you feel close to God and days you feel disconnected. Days you feel hopeful and days you feel weary. Days you feel like you're moving and days you feel like you're stuck. But through it all, God stays steady. God stays consistent. God stays faithful. God stays present. He is not intimidated by your questions. He is not disappointed by your tears. He is not surprised by your fears. He is not frustrated by your frustrations. He sits with you in the middle. He comforts you in the middle. He strengthens you in the middle. And He whispers, I am here. I am not leaving. I am guiding you. Keep walking. You may not see the miracle yet, but it's coming. You may not see the path yet, but it's forming. You may not feel the strength yet, but it's rising. Yo. Look at the Israelites. God took them out of Egypt in one night. But He took them through the wilderness for years, not because He couldn't move faster, but because He needed to develop them before they entered the promised land. The wilderness was not punishment. It was preparation. Look at Joseph. God gave him a dream. But before the dream came true, Joseph went through betrayal, slavery, false accusations, imprisonment. He spent years in the middle, a place that made no sense. But in those years, God built the version of Joseph who could handle the destiny coming his way. Look at David. Anointed as king when he was young, but spent years in caves, hiding, running, waiting. The middle strengthened him. He became a man after God's own heart, not on the throne, but in the caves. The middle is not delay. The middle is development. And God develops you not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. Sometimes the middle is quiet. Sometimes God doesn't speak the way He spoke before. Sometimes the answers don't come quickly. Sometimes the doors don't open immediately. But silence does not mean absence. When a teacher is silent during the test, it doesn't mean the teacher left. It means the test is proving what the teaching built. In the same way, when God seems quiet, He hasn't left you, He is strengthening what He placed inside you. You may feel like nothing is happening. But God is aligning things behind the scenes. He is moving people into position. He is preparing opportunities you haven't seen yet. He is setting the stage for the next season of your life. You're not stuck. You're being positioned. You're not forgotten. You're being written into a bigger story. You're not falling apart. You're being rebuilt in a way that cannot be shaken again. The middle will stretch your trust. It will challenge your faith. It will confront your doubts. It will reveal your insecurities. It will expose what you rely on too much. And it will teach you that God is enough. There is a place in life that many people never talk about, a place between where you were and where you are going. A place where things feel unfinished, unclear, and uncomfortable. A place where you don't have the full picture, where you don't know the timing, and where nothing seems to move the way you expected. This place is called the middle. The middle is where faith is tested. The middle is where patience grows. The middle is where God reshapes you, rebuilds you, and prepares you before revealing the next chapter. And the truth is, most people don't like the middle. Because the middle feels messy. It feels slow. It feels uncertain. It feels like you're caught between what you left behind and what you're reaching for, with no guarantee of what comes next. But what if I told you that the middle is one of the most sacred places in your journey with God? What if I told you that the middle is not a sign of being stuck, but a sign that God is deeply at work in your life? What if I told you that the middle is exactly where His grace meets you the strongest? Sometimes we think God only works at the beginning, when He gives us a dream, a direction, a calling, a promise. Other times we think He works only at the end, when the miracle happens, when the prayer is answered, when the breakthrough arrives. But what if the greatest work God does is in the middle? In the confusing, uncomfortable, stretching, silent seasons where He teaches you to walk by faith, not sight. The middle is where God becomes real. Not as an idea. Not as a religious concept. Not as something you learn from someone else. But as your provider, your strength, your peace, your anchor, your shepherd, your father. You grow closest to God not when life is easy, but when life forces you to lean on Him. You learn God's voice not when everything makes sense, but when nothing does. You learn His character not when doors open instantly, but when He teaches you to wait with trust. There is a depth to God. Life has moments where everything feels blurry. You're trying to move forward, but nothing is clear. You pray, but you don't hear answers. You search for direction, but all you see is uncertainty. But listen carefully, uncertainty does not mean God has abandoned you. It often means something holy is happening behind the scenes. God leads many of His children into seasons where the path is hidden, not because He wants to confuse them, but because He wants to grow them. Think about it. If you could see the entire plan, you would rely on the plan. But when you can't see the plan, you learn to rely on God. Your confusion is not a sign of His absence. Your delays are not signs of rejection. Your silent nights are not evidence of God being far away. In fact, God is closest to you in the seasons you understand the least. Every step you take in uncertainty is actually a step of trust. Every tear you cry is counted. Every moment you feel lost is a moment God is guiding you in ways you cannot feel yet. You may not understand the road ahead. But God understands you. Your fears, your pressure, your battles, your heart. And He is leading you. Even when you can't see where you're going. Fear will tell you that you're not enough, but God says He is your strength. Fear will say this is the end, but God says this is the beginning. Fear will say you have no future, but God reminds you that He wrote your future long before you were born. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to see the whole map. You don't need to know every detail. All you need is to trust Him. He will never let you fall without giving you the strength to rise again. He will never allow you to face something without providing grace for the moment. He will never let you walk into a battle He hasn't already prepared you for. The fear you feel today cannot cancel the promises God spoke over you. Sometimes God closes a door because your next season isn't behind that door. Sometimes He redirects you because He sees danger you can't see. Sometimes He removes certain people because they can't go where He's taking you. Closed doors are not rejection, they are protection. They are alignment. They are God's way of saying, what I have for you is better than what you're reaching for. And you may not see it yet, but every disappointment has purpose. Every delay has direction. Every hardship has intention. God wastes nothing. Even your mistakes, your failures, your detours, He can turn them into testimonies. He can redeem what was broken. He can restore what was lost. He can revive what looked dead. Uncertainty is not meant to crush you. It is meant to grow you. It teaches you to hear God's voice, to trust His timing, to lean on His strength instead of your own. It reminds you that faith is not knowing every detail, faith is trusting God with the details you cannot see. If God revealed the full plan to you right now, you would stop seeking Him. So He reveals it step by step, moment by moment, day by day. Not to confuse you, but to keep you close. Not to frustrate you, but to form you. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every storm you survived has strengthened you. Every valley you